Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, hey.
There we go. There we go. How else are we supposed to start?
I know, that's
how
true.
should everybody else going to know that the episode is starting?
I don't know.
Okay.
Oh,
But hey, everybody. Oh, yeah.
I gotta release the dogs.
Whoa.
Sorry.
Gotta show off the Bodhi socks.
Yeah, Bodhi-
but mostly just show respect.
Yeah, the Bodhi grip socks.
The Bodhi grip
They're
socks.
sick, actually. They're great. I actually really enjoy grip socks.
Me too. The ADV also has some really good ones. They're a little bit less tacky, but the Bodhi ones are sick.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, everybody, welcome to another episode of This Week in Pickleball. I'm Rafa.
I'm Aaron.
Cool. Aaron, let's go ahead and dive in here per usual. We've got a lot to talk about. Texas Open just finished up. You played the money ball.
Yeah.
How did it go?
Went poorly. Actually, no, it went okay. I think I definitely know that I can keep up at the like 5-0 to 5-6 range. I didn't feel out of place.
Okay.
I was playing with a 12-year-old.
Oh, fair. Which one?
I will not say names.
Okay.
Yeah. He was a little bit afraid of, I guess, like the drives. And so like when you're playing against like larger people who hit a firmer ball, it's a little bit scary.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't say that they necessarily picked on him, but we definitely could have done better.
Yeah.
We actually did really well against a team that was like 2 points a duper ahead of us. Like we went 4-5, and I definitely didn't feel out of place, which was nice.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. Yeah.
Also, the outdoors suck.
Okay.
It took me. I think I missed like 2 service returns in the first match because I was like, "What is this wind?"
Yes.
And it wasn't even the windiest day.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
That
It's so funny. Like if you play all the time indoors and then you go outdoors all of a sudden, just the slightest hint of like someone blowing is like, I was like, wow, why is my ball like this far out?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We're gonna get to that in a second.
Yeah.
But yeah, I played 4-0 singles and then 4-5 men's doubles.
Yeah.
Also with very limited success. I like for 4-0 singles. My problem was that I did not eat prior to playing, and I was feeling kind of like my stomach felt weird beforehand. So I was like, I'm not going to eat because like, what if I hurl? And then I sit there, and again, 2 weekends ago prior to that, I played 6 matches back to back from like 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. of singles, all best 2 out of 3. Like, I know that I have the stamina for that. Granted, it was indoors, but I also practiced singles outside the day before, and I felt fine. Now, going into that, I was like, okay, like, sure, I haven't eaten, but whatever. Turns out you should probably eat before you play singles.
Yes.
Like,
I don't know what it is. Something about like the tournament in itself makes it so like if you don't eat because of the added stress, it affects you so much more.
Yes.
Right? Like I can be on court, 4 or 5 hours coaching, and I'd be like, I didn't eat. I'm like, hey, I just need a little bit of water. But then like you get out there and you're trying to like play in the tournament first game, you're like, why am I sweating so much?
Yes.
Why do my muscles feel tight? And you're just like, I guess I should have eaten, or I guess I should have hydrated properly. But it's like, I don't know what it is about the tournament itself versus like just casually hanging out and you're fine.
Yeah. It really sucked. I played 2 guys that I definitely could have beaten in the main draw and the back draw, and I just like couldn't pull it off. And then 4-5 men's was also a disaster. I feel like we played fine overall, but my partner was dealing with a lot of adversity. His core separated from the edge seam on his gearbox GBX. So update there. That can't gearbox as much as I would love to believe that we are getting Gen 3 done differently on the GBX, there are still limitations that Gen 3 will always have. So yeah, so that was tough. So that happened, and then that's the day before the bracket. So then we go to we show up to the tournament, and I was supposed to bring my review unit of the GBX. And
for him to use.
yes, and it turns out that I forgot it. So we pull up, and he has to ask our friend Locke. Shout out to Locke for one of his Luz Infernos. And he has played with the Inferno in the past, but like it's not his favorite, but it's usable. And he also, so that's one thing. The second thing is that he has a very like attack minded style, like very, very low dink counter, like speed up pretty quickly. And out there in the wind, that was not the play. Every single ball was either sailing, or if the wind was blowing back against us, now the speed ups are a little bit slower to where you can more easily tell which ones are going out and which ones aren't.
Sick little tournament tip. If you're playing like 4-0, 4-5, and you are going into the wind, drive your third.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. That's it. There's the combination of him using a new pad. Oh, and then also his wrist was injured. He injured his wrist like 2 days beforehand. So
nice.
Yeah. So it was overall just like he wasn't at 100%, and you kind of, I feel like at the 4 or 5 level, you both really do have to be at 100% to at least
for sure
to win matches. We were still competitive. Like I think we lost first match like 11-5, 11-8, and then the next one we lost like 12-15. So again, it was competitive. It was close. It was my first time playing 4-5, but
yeah.
At
least you know you can compete there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
It'd be different if you're getting like pickled.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Then I'd be like, maybe you should stick to 4-0.
Yeah. That's how I felt. Like in that money ball, it was like a 12-0 duper cap.
Yeah.
So I mean, when our combined duper made what 9?
Yeah.
Right, we're 3 under the duper cap.
Yeah.
Right, but you're
hanging.
You're hanging. You're getting points, right? Yeah. You're not getting shut out. I mean, like I guess some would arguably say that 11-4 and 5, and then 15-8 or whatever is like a pretty big deficit. But at the same time, like Ben Johns and Annalie Waters are winning 11-0 at the pro level against people who are supposed to be also pros.
Yeah.
And there's only 1 point of duper difference.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's actually not that bad.
Yeah. It's like,
yeah,
we'll see. Yeah. But so the tournament was interesting. So speaking of like the weather, my main question of the day, I just wanted to update on how the tournament went. I think this was Nico the lefty over on the Dinks pod. He was saying he took a wild and kind of like radical stance on indoor versus outdoor play, and he said that all pro tournaments should be held indoors. What do you think?
Agreed.
Why? Like I guess the ultimate question, right, is like obviously in the indoors you remove all elements, right, and it's purely can you play pickleball better than the other team. So I think that's a great stance.
Yeah.
The other side of it, I think the argument against it primarily is that like right now a lot of indoor facilities are really, really terrible with lighting. Shout out to Pickler Universe, one of our sponsors for this pod, for having great lighting.
Immaculate.
Yeah, especially on the championship courts where the pros typically play. Perfect lighting, like no problems there. But most facilities don't have that. So there's that. And then the second thing is that people say that like some people like advocate for the weather. I don't know if I agree with this point, but people are like, oh, football. Football is played sometimes like on a closed dome, sometimes open dome, like whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. Why do you stand behind indoor only?
The ball is heavier in football.
I agree.
And the plastic ball is very, very light.
Yes.
And I mean, like, I think it really does come down to a little bit of luck sometimes. Like, I was watching some of the singles match with Kate Fahey and Annalie Waters, and there was like 3 or 4 balls that Annalie Waters should have had no shot at because the pass was on like on target to like pass her. But then you watch the wind, and the wind literally takes the ball from here and it blows it slowly, nicely. It takes off like 50% of the speed, and then it blows it right into Annalie Waters' like paddle so she can get to that ball. And I'm just like, I don't necessarily know if I counted 3 times that happened the opposite way, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it also makes a big difference as to like whether or not I choose to serve first and risk having to get side, right? Or do I opt to not serve first and then make sure that I get side first?
Yes.
You know, it's just, it really depends on what I want, right? And then it's like, do I want to stay on the good side for as long as possible? Or do I want to go swinging out of the gate, you know, see if I can get a really strong lead and just hopefully demoralize them so that when they get the switch.
Exactly.
I'm talking specifically about a single game to 15 there as opposed to like, you know, the best 2 out of 3.
Yeah,
but
when we get 2 out of 3, I think is even more complicated.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, yeah, it's, I think what you just said last comes more into play. It's like, do you prefer being on, let's say that you love having the wind at your back because you get to swing less hard and still hit ball hard, right?
Yeah.
Like, do you start on that side because you like it so that you can destroy the person on the other side, and then hopefully it gets in their head enough that they still lose on your least preferred, you can still win on your least preferred side?
Yeah.
Or do you start with the adversity knowing that if you lose, you're going to the side you like more, and you're also going to finish there if you go to a game 3?
There's also real tough situations where it's like the time of the match actually makes a difference as well. So you'll notice that like sometimes there's just like weird shadows on the court.
Yes.
And the transition between light to darkness on the court is actually kind of tough to see the ball. And so like, let's say that you're playing at, you know, a 2:00 match, and then all of a sudden at 2:30, your second set, the light shifts, and now you're like, well, now I can't see the freaking ball when now I'm supposed to be on the good side.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, having like the tall gates on like the regular amateur courts is definitely tough. Yeah, it's, I think the wind, I think specifically, so I'm fine with outdoor play. I'm obviously fine with outdoor play if like the weather is temperate. Like if we're playing in freaking Newport Beach, like yeah, let's play outside. 70 degrees, no wind. Yeah, for sure.
Or like 5 degrees wind. But like,
yeah,
we literally had gusts up to like 50
on Sunday.
Yeah.
They
which
pushed
is
the pro games.
Yeah, which is insane. I think Annalie Waters walked off the court at one point. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then there was a game delay, like Gabe and Ben and
Fed.
Yeah. There was like a 5-minute game delay, but they were just standing there because the wind was literally just like.
It was longer than 5 minutes. That game was happening as I left the venue. I drove all the way home, which was like a 50-minute drive, and and it still hadn't resumed.
Yeah, I wasn't sure because I was just watching on TV.
It was like hours long.
That's insane.
Yeah. So, I support outdoor play to an extent, and I think the conversation is happening because it always happens after the Texas tournaments, because the PPA always comes here at like the windiest time of the year. November and March, like these like early spring, and then right before we get into the winter months is the windiest time of the year, and they are hell bent on holding these events outside still. So yeah, I think.
But the crazy thing is that it's like courts of McKinney have covered courts.
Yes, they do.
I mean, yes, like maybe the setup might not have been conducive, but I'm pretty sure the players would have much rather, especially when there's like 50-degree or 50-mile-per-hour winds, just go play indoors on that game.
Yeah.
Right? So,
I guess like, yes. And I think, you know, not to like call them out specifically, but I think the question the PPA will always answer is, will Ben Johns or will Annalie rather play indoors in poor light conditions, or would they rather play in the wind? And I think they would rather play in the wind.
Yeah.
So that everybody's going to play in the wind. Also, like, I get it. Like from a presentation value, like championship court is championship court.
And it always looks nice outdoors.
It always looks nice outdoors.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like the sun was still shining. I got sunburnt out there.
Yeah.
I'm looking a lot darker today because of all that sun I got. Should have worn more sunscreen. So yeah, it was brutal. And the way that I look at it is, again, I'm totally fine with outdoor play, but like when they always go to Minnesota in like January, and guess what? They're not playing outdoors because it's cold as hell, and it's more often than not it's snowing.
Yeah.
So they think about it and they move it indoors.
Yeah.
We should look at Texas PPAs in a very similar way, because the wind is just as detrimental to the play as the cold. Like I would rather not play in it. I don't know if I can see myself signing up for a PPA like with my actual own money, of my own volition, for the prices that they're charging amateurs ever again, if it's going to be that windy.
Yeah. Like, I honestly, like, for that money ball, if the person's father hadn't offered to like pay, I wouldn't have played at all. I would never pay. It was $185.
Yeah.
For a potential 2-0.
Yeah.
Right? Or
for 0-2.
0-2. Yeah. Sorry, 0-2.
Yeah.
Technically, we won one. The team that we were supposed to play second bailed.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So 1 and 2.
Yeah.
But it's like $185.
$185.
Right?
Yeah.
I didn't get a swag bag or anything. You know, like, you play these smaller tournaments for like $70. They sometimes give you a shirt.
Shirts.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm like, nothing.
Nothing.
Right?
Yeah. All the like, shout out the Water Bangers, right? Every tournament that they host here is awesome. It's just like they're
giving out paddles on a raffle.
Yeah,
you know?
giving out paddles, giving out whatever. It's like they have like vendors there, and it's like indoors. So like even though it's during like a fine time of year, like might as well have it indoors because they have the space. Like, yeah, it's just not a great experience. And this is not. I'm not going to single out the PPA. I would say like any outdoor tournament where it is during these times of year, if the cost of registration is over like $50, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Like I'm literally burning my money, because granted, could I get better at playing in the wind? Yes, absolutely. But like, if Ben and Annalie or Ben and Gabe are like, I felt like they were consistently dropping a game like on their way to the finals, which there was never any doubt they would make finals. But if Ben and Gabe Tardio cannot, cannot like go 2-0 in a match against a 30-something seed like they typically do, then why would an amateur be able to do any better?
Yeah.
Like, it's too. And the other problem is that the wind in Texas, it shifts. So I had my singles match, my first one, I lost the first game. I won the second one because it was very much like wind going one direction. In the third game, I started off with the wind against me, which I don't prefer. And then when we switched sides, the wind shifted and it was so it stayed at my back the entire time. And I was like,
how do I keep a ball
what
in?
do I do? Like, I don't like this. Like, it wasn't like, how do I keep a ball in? It was like, how do I stop hitting the freaking net? Because like, I'm swing, like, again, it was like, I felt like I could swing away, but then sometimes the wind would like stop a little bit and my ball would go, or like, again, now my shots are now slower for the other person.
The worst is like, for me, it's like, oh, I hit a perfect drop. The trajectory is great. I'm running in, and then all of a sudden the wind just like is like a brick wall, and then the ball doesn't even make it to the net. You're like, what the heck?
Yeah. I hit 2 return winners in doubles because I slightly mishit the return and it bounced, and then it bounced up another like 2 inches, and I caught them like scrambling into the midcourt and they couldn't get it back over. I'm just like,
thank you, Win.
Sorry. Yeah, thank you, Wind, in that case. But more often than not, wind sucks. Wind sucks. Please, no more windy outdoor tournaments. Yeah. Other outdoor tournaments, fine. I'll take a heat.
Honestly, okay, that's the one thing I was gonna say. Like, if it's hot as whatever, let's just say it's like Texas, June, 110, right? Or 105.
Yeah.
I'm fine. with that.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, okay, who trained the hardest?
Who stayed hydrated?
Right. Who
Staying
stayed hydrated? Who trained the best? And like everyone's playing and just like it's beating down on you. Right. But it doesn't affect the ball. It might affect the squishiness of the ball, but it doesn't affect like the trajectory of the ball left to right. It's literally like, you know.
Yeah, it'll make the ball go slower.
Yeah.
Which is nice. But yeah, no, I totally agree with that. I think like I had an outdoor tournament I played like a year and a half ago in the summer. And yeah, one of my semifinals like matchup, the guy on it was a mixed tournament. The guy on the other team, like the heat just like got to him and he practically got heat exhaustion and he had to pull out. And that really sucks, but that there's a lot of other factors there that go to like your personal like cardio health and stability that like are very different from the wind. Is just straight up like a force of nature that cannot be helped, which is the hard part to handle. But yeah, for sure, enough bitching about the wind though, even though it was terrible. But yeah, like you gotta
put a timestamp on this one.
I do. Yeah, I always do. Everybody gets the timestamps. But yeah. I'm trying to think about like there was also an interesting number of like pro upsets. Like we had the like Chris Hayworth versus Zane.
Yeah.
Like 11-0, 0-11,
That was a crazy score line.
Yeah. I like somebody said like we need like a pickleball scoregami, and I totally agree. Like we should have that. Like it's gonna happen a lot in the early years, but then as time goes on, it's gonna become it'll be a lot more common. We'll get it a lot less. I think that would be cool. But yeah, that was an interesting one. We had like Zane Ford going like all the way to it was either quarters or semis, like in singles. I was shooting some media for some of Bodie's players, and so I was shooting Jaume in his match, and Jaume was hurt. Granted, like his whole like right or left side of his back was hurting, but like Zane Ford still looked pretty good, and he was playing with a paddle that we'll probably talk about next week.
Yeah, nice.
Because it's like very under the radar.
It looks really cool.
They have a lot of cooler colorways, so I'm hoping that they'll like.
Yeah, I'm kind of becoming a design snob on these paddles.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You're like me now. It's perfect. Yeah, because before you were just like, just give me a black paddle, and now I'm like, no, it's gotta look nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I mean, to tie back in when a match where the wind truly played a factor in a pro match, like that, I feel like really impacted the results. Federico Staksrud, he said after he beats Hayworth for the gold in singles on Sunday, which I felt like was out of the ordinary. I thought that Chris had a good handle.
Yeah, I think that he usually has his number.
Yeah, but Fed was like, the wind helps somebody with my play style where I come to the net, versus for Chris where he relies mostly on baseline play and like passing shots.
Yeah,
the wind is like is completely against that.
Yeah,
like that completely goes against the style of play.
Yeah,
it's brutal. But yeah, so interesting week for the pros. I think a lot of it was wind impacted. I think there'll be a more interesting conversation to have.
Also, congrats to Paris and
Alex.
That was no joke. I would have never thought that was the finals run. No, but that was insane.
Yes, I agree.
Congrats to them, because I think that's the furthest Alex has ever made it.
It's the first she's ever made it on like a domestic PPA, because she's made finals. She made finals. Was it Hanoi? It was like it was another Asian. It was an Asian PPA.
But first, whereas all U.S. comp.
Yeah, and all the way to the final. That was probably the biggest surprise for me. The rest of the names, like you typically, even like Jay DeVilliers and Jaume. Jay DeVilliers and Jaume beating Alshon and Hayden. Like,
it's kind of crazy.
Jay DeVilliers could beat Ben Johns that day. Like, I watched part of the game and I was like, he's out of his mind right now. He's so good. It's crazy though that you have to like turn up that much from your regular gameplay just to beat them, and they're not even the best, right? So that was really cool. A lot of cool pro stories came out of this weekend. Wind or windless. But yeah, let's go ahead. Let's get into paddles now, per usual. Actually, no, we're not. We have a new segment for you guys this week. We're going to go out on the court and actually give you guys a little tip to actually improve your game. You guys know that Aaron has been a coach for several years now. And so who better to provide some advice? So let's head over there and then we'll come right back here to talk about the paddles.
Pew, pew, pew. What's up, everybody? Welcome to what we're gonna call Tips with Coach Aaron. Aaron, I've been having some troubles on the court recently, and you're gonna help me and the rest of our viewers solve them.
Cool.
Here, I'll let you have the ball.
I'll feed you.
So Aaron, one of my big problems is I really find myself often hitting what I think is a good third shot. Just like, say that for example. And when I come through, I get caught in the mid-court. So what I need you to explain to me, what can I do better? And the goal is typically to get to the kitchen line as quick as possible. That's what every coach preaches. What are you actually looking for when you hit a shot to actually come up to the kitchen line?
A main issue is that people don't really recognize what constitutes a good third or a good drop. So what I'm looking for typically on the drop is ball height over the net, whether or not my opponent has to hit the ball from below the height of the net, or if they can actually swing forward through the ball. Those are kind of going to be the main differentiators between whether I get to come in, whether or not I have to stay back, whether I can make it to kind of the mid-court, or whether I just try to make it all the way up to the front.
So you're telling me that even if I hit, whether it's a third, a fifth, a seventh, just getting it in the kitchen isn't enough?
It's not enough. So I'll show you kind of an example right here. So here, go ahead and feed it to me. So here's my first third. I think that ball is a little bit high. It's bouncing kind of high. And so from my perspective for you, I think you can actually swing through that ball and you can actually see where I am.
Right.
Right? So if I were to do that exact same thing and I ever tried to move in off of this ball, boom, I'm getting hit here, or you have the ability to throw it right at my feet. So as I'm moving in here, because my drop is high, throw it right at my feet. More at my feet, sorry.
Okay.
You're good? Right here, right at my feet. All right. I have very little shot of getting to that ball. I have to stab at it. I don't want to do that.
Right.
So here I'm going to hit more drops. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pay attention. Oops, I'm going to miss that ball. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and pay attention to your head.
Okay.
So right now I see that you look down. And because I saw you look down, you don't necessarily see me come in.
Yeah, when I looked up, you were at the kitchen line.
I was already at the kitchen line, right? And you had good hands there on that last ball.
Yeah.
But I'm looking to see, okay, his head is down there. You can't see me come in. So then I can kind of creep my way forward and attack. And it's going to be up to you whether or not to discern whether or not you can go middle line, or if you play the smart shot, which is
concede the kitchen.
Concede the kitchen.
Gotcha.
Right?
Yeah.
So
for sure. Let's demonstrate that one more time. Okay.
Yeah. So notice, like on that one, I noticed that you were looking down, and I think you recognized in that situation
that you were coming.
That I was coming.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But because of how high that ball was bouncing, you don't necessarily have the ability to push me or keep me deep.
Right.
So on that one, you hit a smarter shot, which was
just low back at the kitchen.
Just play it low back in the kitchen, make me dink that ball. Don't let me crash and volley. Right?
Yeah.
But that's kind of what I'm looking for there.
Cool.
So head, vision, ball placement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those two things. Awesome. Kind of two lessons in one there. What shot to come into the kitchen on, and what to do when somebody knows that pattern and is crashing. right there. I'll replay both of those back to you guys so you can see the difference. But thanks for the tips, Coach.
Good stuff.
We're back.
And we're back. Cool. Thanks for the tip there again, Aaron. So let's get into the paddles for today, though. This segment of the pod, per usual, brought to you guys by Centerline Athletics. It is a little bit warmer down here where we're recording, so Aaron's always strapped with the sweater just in case he just doesn't have it on right this exact second. But yeah, like I always say, if you want to wear apparel that is so comfortable on the court that it feels like you're wearing nothing, there is no better place to be than Centerline Athletics. They've just added a few new pieces that we'll be providing some feedback on soon. So go check those out if you guys want. If you use my code Rafa at checkout, you will get 20% off because Centerline 20. Centerline, not the cheapest apparel out there, but it's because it's worth it and because it works and it performs. Awesome. All right, Aaron. So let's get into this first one here. So what you are looking at is the Everyday Social Gran Class Power. This is a paddle company out of Japan. This is probably this is the first paddle company that we've reviewed that is of Japanese origin. So
Not gonna lie, it screams Japanese.
why do you say that?
I don't know. It definitely has like a racing car, like a Nissan, not a 360, but like a Nissan Skyline or some type of like Asian rally car vibe. What's that game? Not Gran Turismo, but not Need for Speed, but there's like a really famous like racing game.
As soon as you said, my mind only went to Grand Theft Auto, and that's not a racing game.
Yeah. If you know what game I'm talking about, that this kind of reminds you of, right? Like, put that in the
Put it in the comments if you know what the heck.
'cause it's leaving my mind right now.
Yeah, if you know what the heck Aaron is talking about. But yeah, so this is cool. Again, cool Japanese company coming up here. What we've got in terms of tech, this is a full Gen 4 paddle. It is a floating core technically. It has an EPP center, but instead of EVA, it just has a PU edge seam. So we'll get to my thoughts on how I feel about calling that a floating Gen 4 in a second. But undeniably, this is one of the prettiest paddles that I've ever laid eyes on.
Yep.
This is very, very, very pretty in person. Yeah. This paddle also comes with it is a Kevlar face with a spray-on grit over the top of it. But I think that there is a particular contrast with the gold and the green in particular that looks nice.
The edge guard color is really nice.
Yes, it's like a metallic kind of like it's got like a nice sheen to it.
The green is also it's a really nice like forest dark green.
Yes, exactly. So can't say enough good things about the design here. But Aaron, how did you feel about how this paddle actually plays?
This paddle is not good.
No, it's not true. You take it back.
Actually, no, that's not true. It honestly feels like dated tech, even though it's Gen 4. I was saying like if you close your eyes and you handed this paddle to someone and you told them it was a Gen 2 paddle, you could probably get away with having them believe that it was Gen 2.
Yes, I agree with that. And this is where I think what I need is an X-ray to see like how far the PU extends out, because for the fellow tech nerds, the PU foam is in like 99% of paddles. It is the like very firm edge foam that reinforces the sweet spot and kind of goes inside the paddle edges. Where there's typically sometimes there's a carbon seam, sometimes there isn't. So the fact that they are saying it's floating with an EPP and PU outside, on paper, you're describing like what the Selkirk 008s were. Those were described as just like regular foam block right in the center.
It feels very, I don't know.
It's very linear.
It's very linear.
This is definitely like
you get what you put in, but you're not going to get like explosive power unless you swing really, really hard.
Yeah, exactly. And there's this power wise is like in the middle of all court. I will say that the spray on grit is like pretty substantial.
Pretty gritty. I don't know how long it's going to last.
Yeah.
I'm very much against
Spray
spray
on.
on grit. Unless it's like boomstick.
Yeah.
Right? Whatever that grit is.
Hex grit.
Hex grit?
Yeah.
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 So I don't know if the texture would last, but it is a very good looking paddle.
Yeah, it is very good looking. I do think, yeah, again, power wise lands in the middle of all court at most. The spin with the texture is good, but yeah, durability is questionable. The main kind of design flaw, I don't mind an all court paddle. I am totally cool with how this paddle plays. My main qualm with this paddle is that the power that it does have, you can sense, is because the swing weight and balance point is so high.
Yes.
Again, I don't have specific numbers on it, but there's a certain expectation that a hybrid paddle, a hybrid shape, which this is, should feel like lighter than an elongated paddle. And this feels like the elongated paddles of old that were very heavy and
heavy.
over highly balanced. So I think, go ahead.
I low key want to put this in a shadow box and then like hang it on my wall.
What do you?
It's such a
It's
good
a shadow box.
It's like such a good looking, like a frame box.
Oh,
Like to hang.
yeah,
'Cause
like
it looks that good.
it does. It is. It's almost difficult to get. It's hard to get over how good it looks, but yeah, if you get on the court and you're expecting like the typical power of what is described as a floating core Gen 4 online,
You will not get that.
You will not get that. But what you will get is a very linear feeling paddle with a lot of core, with what should have a lot of core durability. I think the real question mark is just, do you mind the spray on grit? And do you mind, number one, do you mind the spray on grit? Number two, do you mind a heavier paddle? And number three, do you mind a $240 price
Heck
tag?
no. Heck no.
As in, yes, you do mind it.
I don't want that.
Yes, I know.
I don't want that price tag.
No, I do not want.
Yes. Yes, no, I don't. I'm not paying 240.
Yeah. This is I know it's
There are
tough.
very few paddles that I would ever pay 240 for.
Yes. And I know it's probably tough, especially if they do distribution in the US, that I'm sure they're probably dealing with tariffs and things like that, which, are driving the price up for these some of these more like D2C Asian brands. But yeah, I love how this paddle looks. I do not love the price tag.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I also don't love how it feels.
You don't love how
But-
it feels. I actually think this paddle feels fine. Like, again, we've hit paddles that are like extraordinary, like definitely go above and beyond in performance.
I think if this is priced at $150, I'd be like, okay,
Okay.
But 250 or 240, it's like, you better fix my game, right? Like,
I that's probably true. You should probably win the games for me.
Yeah.
I can understand that point of view.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this would fit a all court player paddle like incredibly. It's a little too expensive to really recommend at this point. But again, so pretty. Just can't. It's hard to get over until you hear the price tag. But yeah, shout out to Everyday Social. Alrighty, let's get into something that is completely on the other.
Not pretty.
Actually, this couldn't be more opposite from the Everyday Social Grand Class Power in every way.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is the Element 6 Sirocco. I kept calling it a Sirocco. It is the Sirocco. You practically wouldn't be able to tell unless you bought it for yourself online because you cannot read the lettering. But I'll talk about the tech, and then Aaron, you can talk about more of the rest. But so the Sirocco is a floating core paddle. It is done a little bit differently. And the details there are a little bit unclear. I will probably get more clarity, and I'll update you guys next week because I think I'm going to be hitting this paddle a lot more. This is a 16 millimeter Gen 4. Again, floating Gen 4, kind of just done differently. And this is a hybrid shape. We've got that like arrow curved kind of taper up the sides shape. And yeah, there is not a lot much more to it, which Aaron, how do you feel about how...
Bruh. You're not just going to be hitting with that paddle a lot more next week. You're going to be hitting people a lot more with this paddle next week. My God, this thing hits hard.
This thing hits incredibly hard.
I don't know how this passed.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Right? This is like, you know how like Gearbox has that deflection and people are like, that paddle's stupid.
Yeah.
This
paddle is
this is
stupid. Yeah, like two weeks in a row now. So like last week we talked about the combat hoplite, right?
Yeah.
And that paddle hits very hard, don't get me wrong, but
it also
sounds very loud, and it sounds loud, even louder than it hits.
The ball goes off. Yeah.
This doesn't necessarily have a loud sound to it, but
it's a normal sound.
It's a normal sound, but holy crap, does it spank the ball?
Yeah.
This is not only like body bag from the baseline hard. This is like if you block a ball with even medium pace, it just rocket. It's just a rocket.
Yeah.
It is a straight counter back to the other person's baseline.
Yeah, I think I was driving with one of the paddles we were hitting with today, and the drive was relatively fast.
Yeah.
But literally the block was like, it was faster than the drive, and the ball was a foot from the baseline.
Yeah, it's not coming back.
Heck?
I'm like chop blocking with open paddle face, and it still is like flying. It's absurd.
Yeah.
I do think there is legit like one thing that I have noticed is that you were mentioning about deflection before. When you push into this paddle, again, this paddle is held up perfectly fine, no durability issues whatsoever, no rattling, nothing feels squishy like it's like some of our Gen 3s where it starts to feel soft where the foam is. That has not happened at all. These are holding up great. The thing is that knowing that deflection is a measure of how far a paddle presses in given a certain amount of force.
See a little bit of,
you can squish this in like a pretty decent amount. So yeah, this is a paddle that I'm shocked how it passed, but I'm not mad that it passed as a power paddle junkie.
Yeah.
This is an incredibly fun paddle to play
I need
with.
Power.
Yes, I do.
And more. Yeah.
Smoking that Sirocco pack. No, but yeah, it's wild. And because of that, it's really fun.
This is an incredibly fun paddle.
Yeah.
And even better, how much does it cost?
It costs $139.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, Grant, the problem for me is that it looks like it costs $130.
Yeah, it looks like it costs $130. The graphics are terrible,
so bad.
The color scheme is bad. It's just like this ugly brown. Like if you're gonna go brown, like go brown, like so I can actually read the lettering, right?
Yeah.
And then like this plain black edge guard looks so cheap. They don't have the little rubber neck thingy that people have mentioned in the comments before for the grips that I forgot what they're called.
Yeah, I forgot too, but it's missing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Again, as the design snobs that we are, this is not even remote. This might be run for worst paddle design of the year of the year. But from a pure performance standpoint, yeah, this is wild.
We'll have to cut that sound. That's okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're there's a trash can rolling near us.
Yeah.
It's quite loud. But that's okay.
Technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
we're back.
We're back.
As I was saying, yeah, the performance again. If you're a power paddle junk, if
This is
it's
kind
so
of a must-have if you're a paddle junkie.
if you're a power paddle junkie at that price level, this is easy recommendation once again.
Yeah.
Again at that price level, unbelievable. Because again, we just talked about a lot of the power, so you're probably wondering like, oh, you're just recommending because it's powerful. The grip is a little bit thick. Okay,
Yeah.
so thick grip.
It's a nice rounded grip.
Yes, and I'm wondering, so the sweet spot size.
It's pretty large.
The sweet spot size is massive for a hybrid shape like this. Again, this is typically the type of paddle where, you know, you get the typical, like you might get a paddle with like a good size sweet spot, like say like a Honolulu J2. Those are kind of the paddles that I look at for really good sweet spot size. You get that plus some. Like this has, you know, to kind of match the point that I was discussing before, or rather discussing in a recent review. I talked about solidity, which is like that measure of outside of the sweet spot, can you still get a consistent ball, and how close to the edge can you get that with? This has great solidity. It feels like you can mishit the ball and still get it over.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely more of a more of like a stiff but still dense paddle. It doesn't feel hollow. I would say it leans towards the dense side. But yeah, this was
So the swing weight.
Swing weight is great.
Great.
Yeah. I thought this was a 14 mil. I'm not gonna lie to you, but it is a 16.
It is a 16.
It is a
This thing
16.
goes boom.
Yeah, 16. This thing goes boom. If this, but in between now and us releasing this episode, this might get banned. Like it's at that level.
Yeah. I hope it doesn't.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully not.
All right.
Shout out to E6.
These are the paddles I was super excited to hit.
True. Okay. Let's go ahead and dive in here. You go ahead and take
Okay.
it. All right. So what we have here, finally, the Vulcan Chapter 1 paddles. So Aaron has the elongated. I have the
Model Kyrgios. Chapter 1 Kyrgios.
exactly. He has the Kyrgios model. I have the hybrid, aka dark matter variant in this aqua blue color, and then in the gray and black colorway is the wide body white noise for variant. These paddles are made, again, floating core as well. Floating core Gen 4's EPP center. But instead they took some inspiration, I think, from
Carbon.
no, from carbon with the cutouts that they have in the edges, and a little bit from Proton by carving like the V.
The V for Vulcan.
The V for Vulcan in the bottom, near the throat area. Now, to be clear, I have spoken with Vulcan execs about the status of, we've seen what Carbon did to Vatic, and do they expect that? And they have come out and said that they do not believe they have been advised that their design would not violate a patent such as that. So we are in the clear in that regard. But enough of the design. Aaron, how does and speaking of the visuals, like, damn, these are pretty also.
Colored edge guard. And my favorite thing is the thought process of allowing us to customize these paddles.
Yes.
While giving us these like really, they're not like super noticeable, but they're like these nice little black lines that help you measure where you can put your lead and then keep it completely identical on everything.
Exactly.
Yeah. It mentions it on the website that it's like asymmetrical or whatever to help with that kind of stuff. But it's like, I think it also looks good.
Yeah, totally agree. I think the only other company that has thought to do this is Enhance. Right? Yeah. And that's very smart of them because they show like where to put like 3 gram pre-cut strips, which they also manufacture. So
I'd assume each one of these things is an inch.
Yes, yeah. So there's a the large tick marks. It's large tick marks surrounded by smaller tick marks. So each mark is like a 1/4 inch.
Yeah.
And then each one is basically like 3 inches, or 3 or 4 inches, which is typically the like if you get 1 gram density lead tape, like people mostly put 3 or 4 inches on the corners. So that makes sense to me. Yeah, so very smart design overall.
The metallic-y colors are fun.
Yes, the matte yet sheen. Kind of, we saw the same thing on the everyday socials and on the Franklins. Yeah, and it's becoming more common for sure. How did you feel? What's kind of like the impact feel of the ball off of these? Is it hollow? Is it dense? Let's start there. Does it feel more hollow or more dense?
Ooh, I think it's kind of hollow.
Yeah, I definitely like. You can even tell by the sound. Like this is a more hollow feeling paddle, not super hollow, but hollower. Kind of like where the 11.624 Power 2s are. Like they're hollow, but not like all the way to hollow, but they're straight towards that side. And then would you describe these as stiff or as like soft/plush?
They're kind of stiff. I actually thought. You kind of disagree with me, but I think funny talking about enhance. I thought that this is a slightly more powerful version of a duo. I think I think the feeling of it is very similar to a duo.
Where I disagreed was that you said it feels like a duo, but I think like you said, like the power level is higher, like not insanely higher. I think the duo right now probably sits on like the low end of power, and these sit
Comfortably in the power.
probably in the middle. Yeah, right in the middle of power category. But yeah, so again, we've gotten to this far in our explanation. We hit plenty of paddles with this power profile, with good design, with this sort of like core layout all the time. These are all 16 millimeters as well, should mention. What I think makes these different is the sweet spot size.
Sweet spot size, and these have really small base grips.
Oh yes, that too. Very customizable on the base grip.
This is probably one of the best base grips that I've ever felt in terms of size, bevels, and just comfortability. Like this thing is so small that like I could probably put 3 overgrips on this and it would still be like okay.
Yes.
Right? Like the carbon, I can put 1 and I'm like, dude, my hands feel like this is too big. Right?
Yeah, that's fair. I will say I think for some reason the grip thickness on the elongated is thinner than it is on the hybrid and the wide body. So yeah, I think, or even the hybrid is pretty small. I think the wide body has the thickest one. I don't know if that's just mine or if that's just like a thing in general. So yeah, that comment makes a ton of sense, especially for the elongated and the hybrid. Yeah, the wide body is a little bit thicker stock, but yeah, you can tell like these are comfortable grips, like especially on the elongated, like you can tell that they worked with a tennis player to like, design this because that grip feels nice. Yeah, so these are just great performers. What would be your preference in terms of shape? Best, middle, and last?
So best I actually said was the hybrid.
Yes, you did.
And then I said the second best was the elongated.
Yeah.
And then coming in at third was the standard.
Body, per usual. Yeah. My only difference would be switching the hybrid and elongated. I think that elongated is the best and the hybrid is the second. The wide body is the lowest. Yeah. However,
the sweet spot on that wide body, like dinks, counters, and resets, I feel like the entire paddle is a sweet spot.
Yes, this is
minus the edge guard.
Yeah, a very under the radar paddle from a not very under the radar company is the Honolulu J3 CR, which is basically this shape. And every time I think about a sweet spot and like the biggest sweet spot you can possibly get, and think about the most solidity you can possibly get towards the edges, that is my baseline paddle for me. Like that one has like defined the meaning of entire faces sweet spot, in my opinion.
Yeah.
This is probably just as good. This is right there. Like this is another like reference paddle where it's like if you want every single shot you take hits, you know, sweet spot hits, miss hits, like hits close to the edge guard to feel the same and feel like it comes off with a similar amount of power, then that is a case where I would choose the wide body. But we hit the sweet spot a little bit more consistently, so I find that the hybrid and elongated provides some more advantage there.
Yeah. Welcome to the party, Vulcan.
Yeah, Vulcan. Wow. After like 2.5 years of nothing or just garbage.
Yeah, I mean, what did they have? They had like the TL 800 and then like the something 700.
I don't even remember the names. It was like it was dark days for Vulcan. I actually thought they were going to go under.
I thought so too, right? Something about Stack Athletics or something.
Yeah, something about getting acquired by this, that, and the other. But welcome back, and welcome back with a bang, Vulcan.
Banger.
Yeah, these are also we should mention these are only UPA approved.
Yeah.
These are not USAP approved.
Kind of like the
11.6.
11.6.
Yeah, so it's the 11.6 paddles. I actually don't know. The difference here is that I don't know what these paddles failed to not be USAP approved, or maybe they just didn't go.
Or they didn't even apply for it.
Yeah. I don't necessarily know that these would like. And again, without testing it, I don't know what these would fail. But yeah, maybe it's PB Core. It's typically either PB Core or Grit. Those are like
Definitely not Grit.
It's not Grit. These feel like they have like that fine sharp skin texture, but they're not like overly gritty at all.
Yeah, I don't feel any like catching
Yeah,
of my skin on this thing.
Yeah, comfortable level of grit on these.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the $250 price tag?
Dang. Again, I'm probably not paying $250.
Yeah, it's tough. It's just like,
Yeah.
despite how good it is, you know, maybe, and
I mean, that's not true. If I needed a UPA paddle, I might play this.
this is a paddle where, and this is me inserting my personal opinion because I really like the 11.6 Power 2. If that paddle didn't exist,
You would choose
and you
this.
wanted a foam paddle, this is where I'm going at 1,000%.
Uh-huh.
Like no
Yeah.
doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
It feels great, and you know, yet again, it's another great paddle that is really going to be hindered by the price tag. And yeah,
Because I don't know if they'll do a discount code, right?
I don't necessarily know. And even if it is like at 225, that's still kind of like,
Yeah,
it's up there.
yeah, it's tough because I think it's similar to a duo. And if you want, and they also came out with the turbos and the
turbos.
Yeah.
The EPP and MPP
MPP.
turbos.
And those, again, maybe the grip is a little bit uncomfortable, but it's also $100 cheaper.
Yes. Yeah. But I would say the turbos are like the EPP turbo is better like a Loco alternative. Like the Locos are stiff, very hollow, like something like that. The MPP turbo is more like an Inferno.
Yeah.
Right. Where that honestly the Inferno is even more hollow than the Loco.
But again, those are
Not
200.
the turbos.
No, the Infernos.
Oh, the Infernos. Yeah, the Infernos are 220.
220, so discount to 200.
200-ish. Yeah, that is where I think they should have priced this.
Yeah.
Like if this could have been like 225 or something like that.
I think this 199.99.
Yeah.
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 This is a buy.
Yeah, we'll get a clarification on whether or not discount codes are being offered, but yeah, if these are straight 250, don't know if I can technically justify that, but this is the closest I've felt to almost wanting to justify a high price tag in a long time. Like these definitely deserve some. If money is no object, these are definitely paddles that deserve some heavy consideration. Okay, well that was all the new paddles that we were going to sort through today. Aaron, you had a recent experience further with the Pro 5, hit it just a little bit more.
Yeah.
Do you have any updated thoughts for us?
The more and more I hit it, the more and more I dislike it.
Which is wild because I could have sworn I got a text message from you saying that it was nasty. Towards the beginning.
That was true.
Pickleball.
Yeah. So I've actually played with this paddle in the money ball,
Yes.
and I felt pretty dialed with it, and I had weight on it. But at the same time, my hands felt so slow because this paddle is like kind of heavy. Like it's bulky. It's okay. I have paddle protect on it.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's why it's got that like glow on.
That six sheen. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Decent.
And so like my drops and my drives and my serve felt really, really good. And then I got up to the kitchen and I needed hands. And I had no hands because like this thing is just so sluggish.
Right.
Right. Dinks felt okay. But again, like when I was trying to roll or flick or anything, it was just so much paddle to move.
Yeah.
And then the feeling on the face is so like stiff, right? It's one of the more stiff paddles that I've played with. It's just kind of like not for me.
Yeah.
You know? And I, again, at a $300 price tag, I think unless you love JOOLA as a company for some reason or your
Which
sponsor,
there's people
yeah,
like
there are
that.
people who just buy it, but
Yeah.
it's like I would just never find a way to warrant the $300 price tag.
Yeah. It's hard. It's hard for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you kind of said it at the end there. It's like the Pro 5 will continue to be a paddle where it's like if you wanted a paddle that felt like a broken in Pro 4 like right off the bat, this paddle is very much like playability wise up your alley. But yeah, overall
But,
it's like if you don't like stiff paddles,
I know
and
a lot of people who are still like trying to get rid of their Pro 5s and they're just still playing with their Pro 4s because they like the 4 better.
yeah, the 4 also, I mean, the 4 has more power, I think,
Yeah.
at this point. So yeah, like
Right.
they definitely tried to come in with something that wasn't overly powerful and would give you like the used Pro 4 feel that has been really
Yeah.
popular. So they achieved that for sure. But like,
that's where I'm like, okay, if this is what I got, right? This is what I'm using now.
mm,
And this is 220.
and what is this for any?
This is this is my C45 Dynasty 16 millimeter.
Yeah.
I would choose this Franklin paddle over my Pro 5.
Yeah, I think again, it's hard for me nowadays to even want to recommend polypropylene based paddles, but if it's those two head and head, I mean the Franklin's $70 cheaper.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that it's enough of an argument in of itself. And the C45 might be the best Gen 3 paddle ever made, question mark. Like worn in. Let me clarify. Worn in.
Worn in.
A regular no weight stock C45 straight out the box is, especially the hybrid specifically, one of the worst paddles I've ever played.
That is, but again, dual certed paddles that are, I think they're pretty up there after they're worn in.
Yeah. And they've also done some cool designs recently.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Pro 4 just becomes a paddle that I find myself recommending to a very, very, very niche group of players that, yeah, want to spend $300 on a polypropylene paddle.
Yeah.
At that point, you could get the boomstick, and then
Yeah.
hopefully edge guard issues are a non-issue, but you never know.
They're still an issue.
Yeah, they're still probably an issue,
Yeah.
but yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, cool. Did you also want to? I know you had some recent
we can
like,
talk about
grip
grips real quick, too.
experiences.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell us about a couple of these grips that you've been trying out.
So I think you got us these cookie grips.
Yeah, Cookie Grips. They've been
Uh,
sponsoring some pros recently.
Yeah.
They got Luke Pham from
That's cool.
Cali. He's a good player.
Yeah. Well, I have the premium dry grip.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that it's just not for me. I think the grip itself is okay, but the dry grips sometimes they feel like it has like this like chalky film on it.
Okay.
So it's like if you were to like put some type of chalk on your hands and then like go rock climbing,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
right? This is kind of how it feels where it's like you put chalk on your hands and then now you're holding a pickleball paddle.
Fair.
So it's just if you like that feeling, I guess it's a great grip. If you don't like that feeling, like nix it, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and it's a dry. Do you think that you feel that way because you don't like dry grips or because you don't like the specific dry grip?
I don't like dry grips.
Okay.
I mean, I also, I just don't really like dry grips.
Okay. I'm gonna take this from you then.
Yeah,
we're
you can have
gonna
that back.
we're gonna revisit this next week because I don't love Like I prefer tacky grips, but I don't mind a good dry grip every now and then. So we'll see where your bias really was.
Yeah.
But
Then we have the Beyond Measure pickleball grips. These are pretty good.
yeah.
They're, I would say, like, I wouldn't say they're comparable to like Bodhi, but these are some pretty fun colors. Like this cotton candy color. I think it goes really nice with like a Hirache power, you know?
Yeah, like a paddle with like this,
Like, yeah,
like green
same color. Yeah. So fun grip. It's pretty tacky. I've had this one on for maybe a week and it's not like too dirty.
Yeah, right.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It seems to hold up. So I think if you're looking for an alternative that isn't Bodhi, right? I don't know why you would though, but this is a decent grip.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, we don't mind like yeah, I definitely look every now and then. I just look to see what's out there, the state of grips, like, you know, what is actually yeah, what are people working on? Is anybody doing anything cool? And like, yeah, Beyond Measure definitely has got like that.
Yeah.
They've got a pretty solid grip.
Yeah.
For sure.
I'm gonna hit this other grip here in a bit and then I'll let you know. But
Okay.
I'm still trying to test a few things out for this other company.
Uh-huh.
And if it's good, I'll be like,
Well-
we'll shout them out.
We'll shout him out for sure, for sure. Cool. Alrighty. Well, appreciate the breakdown there, Aaron. That is going to end the episode today, people. Thank you so much again for watching. Let us know down in the comments if you've got any more questions about any of the paddles we talked about today. Let us know what you thought about the new tip segment. Do you guys want us to keep doing that? Is there anything we should do differently there? I think we will keep doing it regardless. Everybody can hate it and I will still want to do it. But if you have any tips for us to make it better, let me know down below. Or if you have any ideas for things that you want to talk about, we will do. If there's a particular comment that gets a lot of likes, we'll have Aaron give us a tip on that particular skill. But yeah, with all that said, please stay happy, stay healthy, stay out on the court, and please keep treating people with love and kindness and respect always. Peace.
That was a long one.
Yeah, this is a good conversation though.
Yeah, it was good.
So much to talk
Hopefully
about.
people won't be like, why the heck did you keep talking?